Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesusjunkjournals, and I'm going to work on some more of the ephemera for the Esther Journal. Max. Sorry, that's my dog. I cut out the coin envelope, which I'm going to put together in a minute. I've been cutting out these corner pockets. Cut out the playing cards. And some of the other just cards that will go into your pockets. So now I'm going to cut these out, and I just wanted to remind you that you need to correspond, like these three are one size, and then the two at the bottom are a little bit narrower. So just if you're going to glue them together, which I am, make sure you get those lined up with each other, otherwise they won't fit together very well. So I'm going to cut these out and then we'll get going. Okay, I've got these paired up, so I'm just going to glue them together. And I kind of put imagery that goes with the words. So it says, but Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's order delivered by the eunuchs. So the king became very angry and his wrath burned within him. And this is a painting of a banquet. I think it was, I forget the name of it, but I believe, anyway, to me, that's kind of signifying the Queen Vashti, because the women were off having their party while the men were having their party, and he had summoned her to come and show her beauty to his male friends, and she said no. And that's kind of what set off the whole thing, because his advisor said, you better put her away or all the women are going to think they can run things. So he did, and so he took away her crown and he never saw her again. He kind of banished her to being alone in the harem. And then this one says, when the king saw Esther the queen standing in the courtyard, she obtained favor in his sight, and the king extended to Esther the golden scepter which was in his hand. And that shows a painting that someone did. There's several paintings here that show him extending the golden scepter to her. Several of them show her fainting, so I'm sure, you know, that's just to show you just how scary that was, because she really didn't want to do it. She was afraid, for good reason, that she could be killed. If he didn't want to extend that golden scepter, she would have been killed. That was the sentence. So she probably was kind of faint before it was all said and done. This one, it talks about the beauty contest. It says, for the days of their beauty treatment were completed as follows: 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 months with balsam oil and the cosmetics for women. So they had a year of preparation to see who would win the beauty contest and be queen. And so this is a painting of Esther. That I put with that. You can see the eunuch holding the drape up behind her and the little chest of probably cosmetics that she had to work with. Right here. This one is another painting of her holding the golden scepter. The full painting has King Ahasuerus over here, extending the golden scepter, and here she is touching it. It says, all the king's servants and the people of the king's provinces know that for any man or woman who comes to the king in the inner courtyard who is not summoned, he has only one law, that he be put to death, unless the king holds out to him the golden scepter so that he may live. So that's what's going on here. And some of these are repeats of the same idea, but maybe a little different verse about it, and definitely a different painting. I just wanted to get all this artwork in if I could, because I think it's really beautiful. The king loved Esther more than all the women. I love that verse. And this painting kind of looked like he loved her. So I put those together. Now on these tags, I'm going to try and incorporate some fabric. So I'm going to get some velvet strips out and use them for the tabs at the top and maybe sew some on the bottom. So there's the basic tags that we have to work with. And here's the coin-ep. So you just fold it up and glue it. You glue one of the tabs at the bottom. Use the folding bone. And the small flap at the bottom. And this was another painting of Esther that I found. Fold the top flap, although you won't glue it shut, of course. And I'm going to use some of that gold paste on this, I think. It needs some fancying up. Okay, so there's that. And I also cut out the tabs. I guess I'll go ahead and cut them apart. I kind of like to keep them together so I don't lose them. Or so I can use them all at the same time. And I will probably I'm going to leave those attached, but I'll save those till the end when I'm putting the journal together. And then I cut out these tickets to Queen Esther's banquet. So I am going to get some velvet strips out here and start to work on these tags to dress them up. And I'll be right back. All right, so I've got these glued. I pulled out some velvet. I think I'm going to go ahead and put some of this Bow Bunny paste onto this little envelope. I tried the Rub and Buff, which is kind of old school gold, and I was not very successful, I don't think. So I'm going to take a paintbrush and just kind of put this on, kind of gild this with this Bow Bunny paste because I think I like the effect of it better. And maybe just kind of rub it here and there on the edge. Well, that kind of looks like the Rub and Buff, actually. I'm going to let that dry. Add some touches of gold. Probably should have kept the brush. Yeah, I'm not having very good luck with that, am I? Okay, let me try a brush. See if I can get it to go on where I want it to. I just don't want to obscure the pattern if I can help it. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not, but I'm getting just little glints of gold kind of here and there. And I'm going to try and put it on his scepter because that's sort of the story. So I can do it without messing it up. Okay, yeah. And this one, I just want to kind of touch little dots here in this background. So I'm just letting the end of the brush just kind of touch it here and there. Do his little stripes on his arm. You don't want it to draw complete attention because you'll lose the illustration if you do, but just here and there, I kind of wanted some touches. See on this one, I think I'll leave it alone. Leave that one alone, I'll leave that one alone. Kind of personal preference. I guess I could do it on that cross she's wearing, just. And maybe on her tiara here and there. And I probably better stop. Okay. I got velvet scraps from Etsy, and it's just random, like whatever you get, you get. And they sent me some small pieces of like paisley. And so I'm going to use those somewhere. I might use a piece as a tab on here. The paisley doesn't really show. Maybe I'll flip it around. And just sew a tab of velvet onto this one. So I kind of want it to be the same width as that top edge, more or less. So I'm going to do a tab on here. So I'll lay that there. I don't want to lose this. I put a design at the top of this one and this one. So I don't want to cover those up, so I'll probably do something different with those. Well, actually I did it on that one too. This one's just part of the design, or painting. So, looking at the colors I've got here, see if any of them, could probably use that dark red. Cut a tab. This stuff tears really nice. I'm going to just tear this, although it does make a mess. Tears super easy, but it makes a pile of fuzz. Oh, see where it tears, it's different than the edge they cut. I got this at a flea market. So let me figure out how much of a tab I want and just cut it off and tear it. Let's see. I try to tear it over the trash can because it just makes quite a mess. And then these little scraps I'm going to put, I have a little bucket of those, and I can sew those up into a kind of a border. You've seen me do it before with little bitty scraps. So nothing gets wasted. So I will put that on that one. You know, traditionally we put those holes in it with a round sticker. I'm debating, do I want to do that? I'm going to take these stickers. And I'm going to get the glaze, the gold glaze, or the gold Bow Bunny stuff back out. And I'm going to see if I can put gold on them. I don't know if this will work or not. Guess it will. I've got 3 of them, so I need 6. Let that dry. This stuff dries pretty fast, so I'll let that dry. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll go over and stitch these tabs on. I've got a piece of lace pulled out here too for something. I'm not sure what. I've also got a piece of this cut velvet. It's like sheer fabric with velvet patterning on it. And I could cut it up and use it, but it's so beautiful. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to cut a big piece of it and use it as an overlay on a page and just stitch it across the top. And that way I can have a nice big piece to look at. And because if I cut it in small pieces, like this over here hardly has any velvet, it's really not going to be any good. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. Let me go stitch these two up and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've dug out some gold ribbons and shiny ribbon, and I got this trim at, I think I got it at Hobby Lobby a while back. So I'm going to cut some of that and use it. Let's see, here's the ribbons. I ended up tearing some gold netting, 2 or 3 strips, and just gathering it up and stitching it in with the velvet. And this one I left alone because it had the sort of the fancier pattern of velvet on it. And so these 3, I'm going to use these gold circles. So let me get my hole punch. And this is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why, but it's pretty basic, but I just enjoy it. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to eyeball where the center is. And I guess these are dry. Oh, it's got a big gob of paint that's not dry. Wow, that paint's like plastic. Well, we'll see how that looks. Hope it doesn't look too messy. Try to pull the little extra pieces off around the edges. Okay, well, it got some gold on it, but not very tidily. Okay, so let's see. It may not matter if I put a big wide ribbon in it. Okay, so there's that one. And it doesn't look like it matters on that side, so I'm going to go ahead and punch the hole. Oh, sticking to me. Okay. All right, so got these. Let's see what this one looks like. Okay, I don't think it would enhance that much. Probably it would interfere with this golden scepter on that one. This is too busy to use it, plus it's a sideways view, so I think this is my best bet to use this trim. I'll just use some Fabri-Tac. Hopefully that will hold it. Just want to make sure I get it on both ends really well. Okay. And actually, if I could get it to go up there, that would be, I think I'll try to do that too, because that kind of needs some finish to it. It's kind of rough. Okay. Let's see if I can turn loose of this. Okay, so there's that tag. And this one, I think it needs have the edges done with distress ink. Probably they all do. And I did go around and trim them all up wherever I missed, aligned it just slightly. I just cut the white off. I missed it right there, but see how this distress ink just kind of makes it disappear for the most part. This one, there's still a few little peaks of white along the edges, but this distress ink will make that disappear. So there's that, and then I need a ribbon for this one. So I think I'll cut that. This ribbon is sort of the same color as her dress. Plus it's shimmery. And this one, let's see. That one, that one, that one. I think what I'll do is tear a narrow strip of velvet and use that for a pull. Hope that works. Hope this is long enough to work. Yeah, I think that'll be okay. It could have been longer, but it's okay. It'll get the job done. All right, so there are those tags. And I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, click like and think about subscribing, because that would be really great. And I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.